Hello and welcome to By the Way. Don't forget to like, review, rate and subscribe everywhere you consume your podcasts. Right, now it's time to get on with the show. I'm Harriet Rose.
And I'm Tove Lo, and by the way, I never want to grow up.
Tove Lo, welcome to By the Way.
You.
I'm a bit starstruck, I'm not going to lie.
No.
I'm a big fan. You're an icon, artist, musician, songwriter. You've done so much for the music industry.
Oh my God, thank you.
And here we are.
I know. No, kidding.
I know, and I'm here to reveal it all. We're here to talk about lots of things. We've got a new album coming up, but first we're gonna get into your By the Way.
Yes.
Peter Pan, because you never want to grow up. Tell me what does that mean to you?
I think right now it has to do with like how I feel like I'm as a grown ass woman now, you know. I feel like I'm being told that my time to sort of mess up or like make mistakes, for my time for like self-exploration is like up. And I'm supposed to have all the answers by now, like act accordingly, be a good role model, have sort of like my shit together. And it's just not where I'm at, or how I think this is one of the biggest like lies in life. That's like by this point, you're supposed to have all this together, and it's just not true. And so I kind of feel like I just never want to feel like I have to make final choices or like be stagnant somewhere or like stay like make roots somewhere where I don't feel. What if I want to leave? What if I want to move? You know, what if I want to change? Like that there is like that your time is up for this kind of thing is something that I hate about growing up, I guess.
I think
if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes complete sense, and I really resonate. I think as an artist, you've always represented something and a sense of freedom that like bleeds from you in the best, most beautiful way. And I guess let's touch on what you kind of said there about, I guess, being a woman in your 30s. When I was at school, 30 was dead.
Yeah.
I was like, you're 30.
I'm 38. I'm like almost 40. So I'm even more dead, you know?
Exactly.
It's like I'm really at a place of like, should you really be doing this? Like, should you really be sexy now? Should you really like take your clothes off still? And I'm
Please.
Like, isn't it weird that like this is actually the time in life where I feel the most comfortable in my body and the most like in touch with myself sexually. So like, why should I now like tuck it all in? Like maybe like, I feel like also I'm going to be one of those people who's like, when my tits are in my shoes, I'm going to just throw them over my shoulder and run on stage topless anyway. Like I just feel like it's not about, I don't know, looking conventionally hot. It's just like the feeling free, feeling like I'm just, me and my body are just like, we're free beings.
Yeah, and the tassels will just be dragging along the floor.
Dragging on the floor, just, you know, sweeping.
Sweeping
really
it up.
Sweeping it up.
Let's clean house with my tits.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more. And when I turned 30, it was in just before the pandemic. And I was like, oh, this is the age where I'm meant to have kids and be married. I'd just been dumped.
Yeah.
I lived alone with my cat.
Yeah.
Like, and I also wasn't really, my career was like in a completely different place to what it is now. I say to every girl or boy, but like mostly I do speak to girls about this because it's more of a conversation.
Yeah.
Is turning 30 was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 years, I have learned to relax in a way that I just don't think is possible in your 20s. And I feel
agree.
a lot of grief for my mum, who lived in a world where, like, my mum had me at like a little bit later than other people at that time, but that whole generation, like, I feel like didn't have what we are experiencing.
I know, and I just feel like my 30s, and I think my 20s, I was just I'm so happy, for example, that my artistry happened to me in my late 20s. Like I got to go through those growing pains that like are part of life. And it's like, you know, you're supposed to feel kind of, you know, awkward and insecure and learn your social cues and find your way and be like, what does it all mean? Like, but that continues throughout your whole life, I feel like, you know, but I do think now I am actually, there's this base level confidence where I feel like it's just makes my life so much better. And I think my artistry now, like being where I'm at, like just in my life with my partner and my friends and like just my family, everyone, it's like there's it's stronger now because of like getting to go through those growing pains by myself, just me in my 20s, you know?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
No, it makes complete sense. And then you do that bit, and then you get to your 30s, and it's like a lot of the time you have a bit more money and you have a bit more success, but not all of it, just a bit more.
Yeah.
A bit more than you did in your 20s, a bit more of an idea of who you are. And then I find I can do things like when I think back to my 20s and I think the nights out I used to have and think, and now I have a night out and I can actually go home and not stay the whole night, but at least I'm still, I'm living.
I mean, I still stay the whole night, but I have my.
I do too.
I'm like, what are you trying to say?
I just do it. Okay, I do it once a week rather than every night now.
Yes, there you go. The frequency is lower, but you still get those. I just also kind of feel like I just feel more playful again. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to. And I feel like I just had. My anxiety was more deep rooted, when I was younger, and I think
you were literally figuring out who you were as a person.
Exactly. And I'm happy I got to do that before I had the spotlight on me.
Yeah,
I think that was really important for me.
Your amygdala was fully developed, right? They say that, don't they, at 25? I think when we think about celebrities and artistry and songwriters, musicians, actors, being famous prior to 25 is wild.
Yeah, and I think about that when I when you see now all these like documentaries come up about pop stars who were like, mainly in the US maybe, but like, they were like 14, 15, 16, even like, 19, 20, and like we were so like the media and just like the public were so mean to them, holding them accountable for stuff that you're like, they're children, like, how can they know? Like, it's just you do dumb shit. I don't know.
I want to go to what in terms of being a woman because you were sort of touching, I guess.
I mean, think about just like the Britney and Pamela Anderson documentaries that I watched. I'm like, how were people allowed to be so terrible to them? Like, and I feel happy that would never fly today. Like, you could never say that kind of stuff to
in an interview to her face. It would be like me sat here talking. It's crazy to me. It's I mean, sometimes when I do interviews and the wonderful PRs and managers that surround teams come to me and they say, "Don't ask about this," and I'm like, "Are you crazy? I'm here to have a nice time." Like, I don't want to ask questions that are I don't want to be asked myself. I'm not going to ask the questions. If I don't want to be asked them myself, if the roles were reversed, then I'm not asking the question. But we had Angela Scanlon, who is another TV presenter in the UK, here on the show, and she mentioned this really interesting idea that another director said, which was let women fail. Right?
Yeah.
Don't just give them. So what tends to happen in the industry is a woman is given an opportunity to host an award show, to have an album, to do something big. Yeah. But if she fails, she will not have another chance. No. Whereas men tend to have more of a chance to fail over and over again until they fail upwards. Whereas women, it's like fail once or you're done.
It's almost like that. Like if it's almost like that. Like, okay, we as men have invited you into the space.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're giving you a chance. Prove that you're worth it. Oh, you weren't. Okay, bye. It's like it somehow then becomes that they still own it, which they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you are an artist to me that really proves that your kind of reputation in the industry and the way in which you move around it, and also the way in which other artists adore and interact with you and work with you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's just really
I
obvious.
feel the love.
Yeah. But like, you are clearly loved. Like, I love, before I meet somebody, because this is the first time we've met, I love going through like social clips that not from you, that other people say about you, things they write about you. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's all so lovely, and your fans just adore you, and especially the LGBTQ plus community.
I have really good fans, especially in like the queer community. I think it's just feeling like, I don't know, there's just like a genuine love and communication and understanding between us, and also I feel part of that community being,
well, you are.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I guess it's like, I always have those things where I'm like, I've been married to a man for 9 years.
And that's great.
And it's like, but I still feel like I'm very much identify as a bi or like pansexual woman. So I feel like that like really matters to me, that I'm like, make that known. It's part of me, you know.
I want to talk about this. I really want to talk about this. It's something really important.
Wait, I'm taking my jacket off. I feel like, why am I sitting in this
Please
coat?
start stripping. No problem. Get it all off. Make yourself comfy. Jackets off. We're ready to get deep.
We're ready. Go for it.
So what I was going to say was, I've seen you speak about this often about your queerness and the difficulty with being a bi or pansexual person, or a person that doesn't have a specific gender that they're attracted to. But when you marry a person of the opposite gender, it then feels like a prison that it's like, well, hold on, I'm still that person. It just so happens that I'm married to this person. And I really want to discuss this because I feel really a lot of pain around this subject. I'm a lesbian. I want to only date women. But interestingly, I have dated men and I do find men attractive, but my modus operandi is women now. Just one woman actually now. But I really feel strongly, and I say this to my friends who are wanting to experiment or thinking about it or suggesting it. I'm like, you are as gay as you feel. If you fancy one woman, but you have a huge crush on them and you decide that makes you bisexual, you're bisexual. It's not some sort of like if I'd never slept with anyone, I'd still be a lesbian.
Exactly. And exactly. And I think that's the sort of, I don't know if it's that like, I've gotten that question sometimes. I'm like, are you really, or are you just saying that?
Well, that's so rude.
I'm like, well, I'm also like kind of, I was like, well, I've always been very open about it since day one. But I also, maybe it's because to me, it's like kind of like for me personally, it's a kind of a floating thing. It's like on a spectrum a little bit.
Well,
like
it is, I think it is for everyone. No?
So it's kind of, and I think I think most, I live in LA. It's a very sort of open-minded bubble, you know, and in a really beautiful way. And so, and I think everyone is about, I'm a little bit gay. Yeah, it's not like, no one is kind of needing to.
Validate
it's not so dramatic.
Yes.
I think. So I'm so used to it being such a. So then when someone kind of comes at me and wants me, like kind of aggressively wants me to like explain like my sexuality, or like, well, how can you be comfortably with a man for so long if and I'm like, well, now we're getting real personal here. Like, you know what I mean? And like when someone is coming at me with like a negative energy around it, I get kind of, it bothers me a little bit. I'm like, it's still who I am,
And I just want to hold some space for that because it's vile, and I just feel really strongly that we don't owe anyone anything. I don't owe.
No.
If I decide in 10 years to date a man, I would be shocked, but it would be no one's business.
No.
I just feel this real I speak to a lot of girls who identify as straight who aren't, and they just don't want. They're too scared to try it because
all of a sudden it feels like they're putting themselves in a new box they're not ready for or something.
And also they might hurt someone. Yeah. They might hurt someone's feelings if they decide. But there was one point where I didn't know and I had to try to find out.
You have to fuck around and find out. You have to know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like you can also think about it all you want and not go there, and that's also okay. You don't owe anyone any. It's kind of how I feel when like people are really on some artists that aren't ready to come out and they kind of force it out of them. And not just artists, but any person. And it's like, and I kind of feel that to be like, it goes against the whole idea of like being accepting, I think. But I also think that comes from maybe like people who've had a lot of trauma with, not only, but people have had trauma with coming out or like being, sharing their sexuality. They maybe haven't had the same sort of like very relaxed support system I had for my family, for example. Then it becomes more of a loaded thing, maybe, I don't know, or like
100%. I definitely had it when I was first came out. I was like a little bit confused by bisexual people at first, because it made me feel because I have rejection sensitivity more than anything. It's more like I'm just like, oh, but if you might love a man or a woman, and it's like actually when I grew up and realized that's about attachment styles, like you say, a lot of it's based in trauma, but
also actually I'm like, to go back, I feel like also one thing that maybe, but a lot of times I've noticed, and I don't even know if a lot of straight men know that they do this, but like they get really annoyed if they think another guy is gay, but he won't admit it or like won't want to, because it's almost like they just have to know, because otherwise they feel, I don't know, there's some kind of like that they deserve to know. And that to me is also, that feels to me like they're just like nervous around. It's kind of like a homophobic thing that they don't know that they're doing.
Do you wonder, I'm just thinking this now you've said that, Do you wonder whether there is something in a lot of male behaviours are quite homoerotic, like some things that men like to do, like go to the gym with each other and like be very physically close and do things that could be seen as homoerotic. And therefore, this idea of like who's gay and who's not gay is a projection of their own. I feel like it only can be a projection because to me, I'm desperate to find out that you are gay because it makes me feel fab. I love it. I'm so happy for it. I guess because in a way, I'm a bit more scared of straight. Because in case they are homophobic, it's like, I feel amongst my own, and that doesn't mean I love straight
it's also
people.
It's not like it's like there's definitely like a natural curiosity around sexuality, just to like because then you're like. Because maybe we're vibing or not. You know, it's like it's like, are we friends or not? A little bit. Like, I felt that when I've like flirted with girls in the past where I'm like, are we just giving each other like compliments or is it happening? You know, like
and a lot of my bi and pan friends say the same thing. They're like, how can I tell? Because sometimes it's just girls being nice to girls. And I think there is an element of that which is easier for me because I am so gay. Like I talk about it all the time. I talk about it here. I talk about it there. And like I think it's like unavoidable for another girl to know that I'm. So it's like quite easy to flirt with me because I know that you're flirting with me because. Well, I just assume everyone is.
I think they are. I think you're right.
I'm a Leo, so everyone is flirting with me all the time.
Of course, but I'm a Scorpio, so same.
Yeah, exactly. All the time. I feel that's a really interesting point, though, because I think it's like I can only perceive homophobia as projection.
Yeah.
Of whatever.
Even guys that maybe don't like they're not homophobic, like they're like they have no problem with it, but it's a subconscious thing that I think a lot of like, at least in my generation, like straight guys grow up with this like fear of being like fear of being gay or like fear of being perceived as gay, whether they are gay or not. Like and now that like I'm at least I'm seeing it in my orbit, like there's more of a relaxed sort of like energy around it, you know. But I think there's that, it's like they can't help that trigger almost inside them because it was just like such a part of their upbringing or something.
And it's kind of sad, really. I feel like the next generation, like our generation's children, are so different. Like my neighbours who are like probably 20 years younger than me are so up for being gay. Like but they are thrilled to be gay.
Because it's just like, I think once there's I mean, I'm really like generalizing here, but like
no,
I feel
of course,
like you know, but I feel like there's it just becomes less of a sort of loaded thing where it's like it just needs to stop being a fear because it shouldn't be. I guess that's the like thing. But I mean I it's hard for me to like say, because I had such an easy, it was basically like I just hooked up with girls and it was kind of like, you know, my parents never said a thing when I was like making out with women in my videos, you know. They were just like, there she is, you know. They were more like, why do you have to drink alcohol in the videos? Like they're kind of like,
that's
like,
well,
you know, stop with the drugs, you know.
But
they've never said a word about any of the sort of, you know, my quite highly sexual content.
Well, at least they're doing their job. That's exactly what parents should do.
Yeah.
Well, I love your queerness and I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for what you do for the LGBTQ
thank you.
community. And
I feel the love. It's very lovely.
No, but we feel it right back. Let's, on that note, I mean, you discussed a bit about and I want to say it right, Estrus.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
The new album, which is coming.
Yeah.
You've spoken about how this album has been a bit of a painful one for you. And does it relate to what we're talking about now? This idea of like, I should be doing X, Y, and Z. And it's more of like an existential pain rather than, I know like other albums have been influenced by heartbreak and by pain, by sort of very visceral pain, whereas this is like an existential pain.
This one feels like, I think also because I feel like the same person in my brain, like in my senses, in my mind, but something in my body is like, I'm having some kind of metamorphosis where it's like to in a very like clear way, it's like I feel my body is like, you should procreate, have a child, put roots in the ground, like, and I just don't want to. Like in my body and my mind are having an argument, you know.
Same. I feel you.
Yeah, and I think it's like really, it's been kind of a strange. I had like a few things happen last year where I just like felt this kind of like, is this the meaning of it all, or like, no, I rather just, it seems so painful. Like it seems so painful, and it's kind of the, I don't know, to me it almost feels like when I look at my friends, I have so many also like artist friends who have kids and are doing, doing both, and it's like I'm not saying it's like I can't do it with this job. It's more, it's me as a person, like not because of what I do, but because of how I am, that I find it so like scary. And I think that, yeah, I don't know. But then again, I'm like, do I want to miss out on this, like, I don't know, final boss of adventures? I don't know if that's what it is, but it seems so beautiful, but also so painful that it like really scares the shit out of me, to be honest.
And I think, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And I think women in their 30s can resonate. People in their 30s who can have babies can resonate. I just actually froze my eggs for this very reason. Because I did a solo episode on the show about it. And the only reason I want to share it is purely from the place of, I think as women, you are, and especially if you're in a heterosexual relationship, you are the person that takes on the birth in a way that sadly the man can't in certain areas. So there is a bigger decision being made, I think, by a woman, and I might get like cancelled for saying that, but I think there is a bigger decision being made by a woman in a heterosexual relationship to have a child, because physically it is different to a man having a child, for example. It's not, for that first 9 months.
No, for sure. I mean, it's just that, that's, whoever is carrying the baby and like giving birth to the baby, and then like that is a physical toll, of course, and it takes you, and everyone is different. You can't prepare for what your body's gonna do for you during that time. So like that is that scares me. And I think if my if my man could be pregnant, we probably have a few kids by now. Do you know what I mean?
And isn't that unfair? Like,
I feel like it's unfair, and then I think a lot of people will come and say like, no, but it's the most beautiful thing that your body can do. So is that? But I feel, me personally, in my and I'm sure it sounds selfish, but that's just how I feel. I'm like, it's unfair that it's on me when this happens and how and if it can happen. Like,
I feel the same, and I'm in a gay relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like the reason I froze my eggs was because I don't want to keep asking myself this question.
Yeah.
I need to shut that part of
How was that process, by the way? Was it hard? Because I've heard so many different stories of like it being physically really challenging.
I did it twice, so I can give you a fairly like rounded. So the first time I did it, I was so anxious. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't do that. I need to make sure I'm really strict, and it ended up being a very anxiety, like I was fine. Process. I took a long time off. I took 2 weeks off, but I ended up being more anxious because I was taking it so directly. And now listen, I'm not a doctor, this is my personal experience, but the second time I did it, I was way more relaxed going into it. The only mistake I made is I didn't take any time off. I went from taking all the time off to taking no time off. And I literally had to cancel like a press interview the day I was egg freezing. I was like, guys, I think I feel insane, so I shouldn't speak to anyone. And to give you an example, the day before you have like a trigger shot, my agent texted me and she went, turn your phone off right now, because you are sending the most insane text messages in the group chat. And I was like, you're so right. And I think the way I would describe it the second time was, I felt that in the 3 days around doing the egg retrieval, I felt like I was on my period times 8 billion. I could have.
Do you get bad PMS?
Yeah,
I get really bad PMS.
Yes, I could have punched through a wall. I also could have burned down every friendship that I have. Yeah. I could have quit the industry. That was the level of. But I came out of that second one and I felt like a superhero.
Amazing.
So ups and downs, and everybody has, because my friend did it and she didn't even have a single side effect. Yeah. I think I probably have enough of all the right hormones, which means that when I take extra, I am insane. Yeah. So I think there's a very variable dynamic.
I think it's like so individual, right? It's like no person's the same. It's just really, you can't know. You just have to like go into it and then hope for the best.
Hope for the best, and also be really kind to yourself. Yeah. And talking of that, I want to get back to. Sorry, I've made this all about me as always.
No, I love it. I love to talk about this.
Yeah, well,
it can be a tricky conversation for some people. So,
and I want
it's hard to be honest about it, Yeah,
and that's kind of why I wanted to say the egg freezing thing. Yeah, because I want to tell you that I feel the same.
Yeah.
I feel like, because people are like, oh, like, because I'm 36. So, and I'm like, but I've got stuff I just want to do. So I'm doing that for me, you know, to think about it for future. But I also have those same feelings as you. And I want to know for you kind of, you've always channeled your pain and your happiness and your excitement and your love and
every feeling I've ever had
Yes.
is on this album.
Yeah. And I feel like you've done that with music, and that's why we resonate with it so much.
Thank you.
But have you felt that level of catharsis yet, or is it going to happen when it comes out?
I feel like I'm confused with this one because I feel like I'm still in. Usually when I write the album, it's like I've been through something, I write about it, and then it's like, that's the, you know, I'm closing the journal, here you go, here it is, but I'm kind of over it. So when I talk about it, I feel like it's happened to someone else, you know?
Yes.
And I remember that even like on Dirt Fan, my last album, I have this song called Grapefruit, which is about like when I was struggling with bulimia for years. And it was like, but it happened so long ago that I was ready to write about it, but it took like 10 years of me being fine to like feel like I could actually put it down on paper and not be like, oh, I don't want to share this, you know? Especially someone who's, I guess, always been so much like body confidence, body positivity, just here I am, naked, unretouched, you know?
Two things can be true at
Yeah,
once.
and I think that's because I had so much therapy for it, you know? But so with this, it was easier for me. It wasn't easy to make that song, but it was easier for me because I'd been through it. But with this album, maybe when it comes out in September, I will have been like, I've gone through it all emotionally. So then I'm like, yes, you know, but I kind of feel like I'm still going to be in this place of like, yeah, I have just like a lot of feelings but no solutions. What
does it feel like to maybe not have the solution for you?
To me, it's kind of, once you accept that, it's really freeing because I think that's just life, you know? It's kind of not, that thing, I don't know. I'm like, people ask me for advice all the time. I'm like, I don't know.
Same.
I don't know what you should do.
Same. I don't know what I should do.
No, same. I can tell you what I did and what worked and what didn't work, but I don't know if that applies to you.
But that's where I think we need to just do whatever feels right at the time for us. And I think being a person on this earth is pretty difficult right now, and you kind of have to fight whatever battle you have whilst also living in the present and being as here as you can be. Because that's the thing I think I learned the most. I don't know about you, in my 30s, my late 30s, is like I'm like, oh, it literally only matters that I'm listening and watching and seeing what's happening. Like I need to remember,
and like remember that like no one cares about you.
Yes,
like,
no one cares.
Like, no one is like talking shit. Just
and if
like
they
live
are,
your life.
that is the only time anyone talks shit is because they are again, I'm coming back to projection, but I think I only talk shit when I'm projecting. Like I'm only being like, and it's not a regular thing for me because it kind of gives me the ick internally. Yeah. But I think it is just like when we're feeling shit about ourselves, we put that onto other people.
For sure. And I think it also becomes like, and if they don't like you, then don't be around them.
That's one of my hardest things. How do you feel about people disliking you?
I mean, I've gotten so much hate over the years that I just like, you know I have a close circle of people who genuinely love me and who are so, that care about me. And so I try to focus on them, and whoever kind of comes into my orbit who is like treating me kind of shit, I just like, well, I'm not even going to waste my time on you then. Which when I was younger, I would try to win them over. And I think that was like such a toxic thing that I think is very common. But I was just like, why would I waste and even if I was like, thought they were cool and I kind of looked up to them, if they were being like shit to me, I was like, you know, it would hurt me so much, and I would just try to get them to validate me all the time.
It's like crack. When someone's horrible, it's like, I want to be your friend. I don't know why.
But then I think after a few times of going through that and getting kind of, you know, humiliated in a way, I kind of I was like, what am I doing? This is so just like
soul destroying.
Yeah. Like there's, you know, focus on the ones that are, it's like that kind of thing when you get like for every nice comment, there's one bad one, and then you like zoom in on the bad one. And it's so destructive and just so it's not helpful to you at all.
But also, why do we do that? It's so actually, I try and figure it out all the time. Because I do. By the way, I do the same.
Yeah, everyone does. It's like really, it's human. But my mom, who's a therapist, she told me this. Yeah, shout out to mom. She told me this actually really helped me because I think it was after I'd done performance on Elle, like Elle DeGeneres show. This was years ago, like 10, 12 years ago, for Talking Body. And I made the mistake. I learned quickly early on that I was like, oh, don't look at the comments because they are mean, you know. Then I did look at the comments, I had a weak moment, and I looked through and they were so just horrible, all about just picking my appearance and my voice apart, just everything. And I just texted Mom. I was like, I need you to just like talk me off the ledge and just like help me understand why I'm like focusing so hard on these like mean comments when there's also a lot of nice ones. Like, why am I? And she's like, it's kind of like our body registers like negativity or like, you know, someone being aggressive or harsh, like as a threat. So like you're on high alert. And so it's like if you were standing in a room and people are being nice and pleasant, someone comes in and screams something really mean at you, obviously you're going to like react and be aware of that person. So our bodies don't really, like, we're so registering that as a threat to us physically. So you're like, attention gets heightened, sort of. That's how I remember her. I mean, that's what I remember her saying to me. And I just feel like that helped in being like, it's not me like being focused on the negative. It's just actually like a physical reaction that's very human to sort of take that in or like notice that comment, you know, because every nice comment is a safe space. You know, you don't have to worry about it.
And I'm glad you shared that because I feel like that's going to help a lot of people listening. But also, I think it is a very human response, and whether or not you take in negative things or not doesn't make you a good or a bad person. Like,
no,
because I think for me, I always really misunderstood that actually what I wasn't doing was communicating. So I would have people be mean to me and I'd be desperate for their validation and do anything I could to get it. And then I realized actually I can just say to myself, that person is mean or that person has done something to me. What is it about? If you don't even want to be their friend, why on earth would you want to make them yours? And I think in a sense for me, I figured out, I think I'm being a bit selfish here. I think I'm being I wanted to almost ick myself out and be like, why do you want to be, what are you doing playing this game? And I think I've never experienced what you must have over the years in terms of your, you know, celebrity and having those kind of, I very rarely get comments and stuff because I think with what I do, in the nicest way, no one cares enough to comment. But it seems horrific. And anytime it does happen to me on the very rare occasion, I'm like, whoa. So I'm...
Well, because you're not prepared, because you think, it's also like, I think when you're coming at things from like a positive place or like being like, oh, look, I made this. Someone's like, that's fucking ugly. You're like, well, why would you say that? Just like, you know, like.
But why? You're so also, right.
I kind of have this feeling also too, is like if you decide to put yourself out there and like, especially when it comes to like music or like art or like you're making something for people to like or hate, like you have to also be you have to be okay with that. Some people are just not going to vibe with it. And everyone can think whatever they want about my music or like, you know, they can think I'm ugly. I don't care. Like it's not, but it's more about like, do you need to write it? Like send me 20 DMs about do you need to send me 20 DMs about how ugly I am? Can you just like leave that? Tell your friends. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
That the response, if you ever responded to them, would be crying and throwing up and oh my god I love you and you're the best thing since
probably
that's the craziest thing I think that comes from that is, but also just I
also think it's just like no one thinks you see it, you know. It's like, and I will say
they're just
too,
desperate
like,
for your attention, babe. That's the scariest thing about it.
And no one, it's like so easy just to write something. I think it's actually very hard for people to be mean in person. Like that's way harder than just like write something. You know, if you just
shout out if you can actually be mean in person.
Say it to my face, okay?
That's such a 90s thing, being mean in person. Back in the day, we also used to just be mean in person, and now we write it on videos. It's so annoying. So obviously, this album is ripping you apart and bringing you out of yourself again. I'm Your Girl, Right? Is the latest single. So tell everybody a little bit about, well, let's talk about the music video because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so the song I'm Your Girl, Right is the emotion of it is like, I don't know, ripping your clothes off and running naked through the streets. Like that's the sort of energy, the production and the sound of it makes me feel like. The lyrics are quite vulnerable, borderline and desperate. But also kind of like sexual and dominant. So like very contradicting all around.
Love.
But it's like, the whole spectrum of like how I feel in my relationship of 9 years. It's like, because I feel like a lot of times in pop music, or at least for me, I've written about, the first stage of love or the last stage. Like it's either the breakup or the initial like infatuation.
They're like,
yeah. And so it's kind of cool, I think, to a lot of the songs on this album will have that kind of tone where it's like, it's just so much more nuance when you've been together for a long time. Like the drama doesn't stop necessarily because the emotions are still really high, at least for
well, we create
me.
drama, don't
Yeah.
we? We create it so we keep things spicy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and it's not, even though that's like, you just can't help it. I as a highly emotional person, I have a hard time just being, even.
And you're
even
a Scorpio
keel.
and your partner's a Cancer,
He's a
right?
Cancer,
So it's like emotion times billion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
He is highly emotional, but he hides it well. But then he also makes a lot of big efforts to express it. So we're really good at communicating.
That's
which
great.
Is adorable.
Yeah, I love that for you. And that's 9 years deep, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 9. Like, as in, you wouldn't be 9 years deep if you couldn't. I think personally.
And also I do love our relationship. I feel like I feel like we just met and I feel like we've been together forever. It's like he is like my best friend that I want to bang. It's perfect.
Oh my God, that's the most weirdly romantic thing I've ever heard. Because the thing is, you do want your partner to be your best friend, and you want to bang them for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like you got to stay innovative. It's like, it's like, and I think that's fun,
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And also while you're processing this big time in your life, to have your best friend by your side that you want to bang is definitely a positive.
Yeah, it is very much positive. But wait, the music video.
Yeah, the music video. Best friend you want to bang, music video.
Yes. But so that feeling.
Are you physically running through the streets naked? Or
not in the video,
no.
but just that's the emotion.
Mentality.
But I am, I shot the video in Brazil, like an hour outside of Sao Paulo at this abandoned monastery. It's like one of the most beautiful locations I have ever seen.
Amazing.
This director Nogari, who I've worked with before, he's incredible. And I think we had like 79 dancers, so like extras on the shoot, which I've never done something that big. It's basically me breaking free from a cult and like letting my sort of inner feral cat roam free, which is kind of setting the tone for the whole visual story of the album.
Yep.
And the cult kind of represents any kind of conformity where you can't be your true self.
Love.
So, yeah. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
I'm a bit obsessed with cults.
Yeah, me too. And I can feel this cult energy, like so many documentaries coming out.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm obsessed. Yeah.
It's so harrowing.
The Nexium one is actually one of my, it's like the least sort of like culty in like sort of like in the religious way where it's like everyone's wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's quite like, but that one is freaky because it's just like these people who aren't religious or didn't grow up in like a strict household, just like people who want to work on their careers and they're like self-improvement, and then all of a sudden they're like branding each other with like fire sticks. So it takes a very manipulative mastermind to get people in the headspace.
But you say that, but I feel like the world is filled with mini and maxi cults. Like, I feel like sometimes I think about certain fitness things.
CrossFit.
Yeah.
Cults. Pilates. Cult. I'm kind of part of that cult a little bit, but I hate to admit that.
But like, let's be honest, we're all part of some cults.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Soul Cycle. Cult.
That's
so many.
But there is but I'm super intrigued. Went a bit brummy then. I'm super intrigued by cults, and I think celebrity cult.
Yes.
Fandoms, cults.
Yeah.
But some of them are very healthy and some of them not so.
Some of them are just fun and
fun
like
cults.
community.
A fun cult is great.
Yeah.
Let's all join a fun cult.
Yeah.
Don't take that
fun
seriously.
community cults. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Soul
it.
Cycle,
Join my cult.
Soul Cycle and Tove Lo's fan club.
Yes.
Okay, it's now time for my by the way for you.
Okay.
I have actually got two. Maybe I'll do both. Tove Lo, by the way, Habits is one of the greatest songs I think ever made. I've got so 2014, it came out when the first album came out. was very me in my 20s. Like it was it was the right time. Like I think I just was like gay. How old am I? 36. So 2014 was 12 years ago. So I would have been so it was like just post like big gay me becoming big gay Harriet.
Big gay Harriet.
Big gay Harriet, and like I was
Sounds
in
like a great club.
Right, let's start a club. A cult club.
Yes.
Big gay Harriet, the cult. And I feel like it just really epitomized to me what it's like to be in your 20s, irrelevant of a breakup or not. It was like, I've got to stay high and I've got to completely
just move in, like, it's like,
that video stays in my brain. Every element of it.
Yeah.
How does it feel for you? Because it's a huge song, but also it's a song you wrote a long time ago.
It's funny because I know I have a lot of my peers kind of say, like, a lot of artists talk about how much they like hate their first big song and that they hate that they still have to sing it. They like rather not do it on tour. I am not one of those people. That song changed my life, and it's like the gift that keeps on giving. It just keeps resonating with people over and over again, and it just like, I just am so proud of it. Like I love playing it live. I feel like it's not. I still relate to it. I still feel like it's me. So
and same.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not you.
Yeah.
But it
should be you.
But it made me fall in love with you as an artist, because the guttural. And I hope you don't mind me using that word, but it was like I felt in my head, I felt guttural about wanting to escape the feelings that I had in my brain at the time. And I probably was going through a breakup / fancied a girl who didn't fancy me back.
Frustration with yourself about not being stronger almost. You know what I mean?
And I've just got to go round and round. And I feel like weirdly, like my 30s were the time when I wasn't as much like that. But then I listen to your song, it's on my, I have playlists on my Spotify, and it just comes around and I hear it and I'm like, ugh, because now I can enjoy it because I'm not sad as I was then, where I was listening to it. I very much am one of those people that's like, let me put this on so I can cry. Yeah. And now I can put it on and I'm like, yeah. And it's kind of nice to have that journey with music in that sense. And it's what made me fall in love with you, and it's what made me like follow you as an artist. And so
yay, thank you.
It's lovely to know that
I still think if that's the first song people hear now, I still am very happy with that. I'm like, it feels like, I'm like, yes, you'll still resonate with everything you hear now, like, everything coming, or like what I've just put out. I feel like there's still a connect to, I at least feel that there is a very clear connection with all of my records. And I'm about to it's like my 6th album, but I feel like they all belong together. There's an involvement, I hope, but I think there's like, I just feel like there's still a very strong connection between them.
You can feel it. You can feel it. I'm going to do my other, by the way, quickly, because this is
we've been chatting.
This isn't as nice, Tove. This isn't as nice.
Oh shit. Okay.
By the way, Tove, you once said in a Noisy interview that you can't trust cats.
Well, I don't think you can. Doesn't mean I don't love them.
Okay. Well,
you disagree.
Okay, I can calm down now.
Okay, I could see you were on fire there. Ooh.
I've just gone from a cult-like obsession with you to hating you in 2 seconds. So I'm a big cat girl. And I just wanted to check that you loved cats.
I love cats. Can I say though, I have had more like respect for them and been more like, kind of not naturally like gravitated towards them because of not being able to read their behavior.
Right.
But then one of my best friends, Leanne, shout out, she was staying with me for 2 months with her cat, Leo, who we call Fat Boy.
Perfect.
He's like this gray, constantly purring, like 13-year-old cat who just like,
joy.
I didn't see him run once in 2 months. He's just casually strolling through the house, always wanting to snuggle.
Perfect.
He made me, and he would like give little love bites. Like he was so, he like made me fall in love with cats, and like, okay, now I can read you. But on the Estrus album cover,
I know
I have a black cat.
That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, because now, so after like having him in my house and like living with a cat, I'm like, oh, this is like such a beautiful animal.
You're in your
and
cat
like,
era.
I'm in my cat era. Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah, me too.
You can tell everyone. Tove doesn't hate cats.
I love cats. I also think like, there's like this thing around. I feel there's been a negative tone around cat lady for a long time.
So
but I
true.
think, what that is just like an independent bitch who needs
Yeah.
no man. So
Tove Lo loves cats.
Yes, I love
Moving
cats.
on. Now we can all get that out the way. Is there anything you'd like to get off your chest? What's been grinding your gears of late? Is there anything that you just want to say, hey?
I have a couple.
Yes, please share.
One, I mean, I think they're both small and petty, but anyway.
Perfect.
One is, okay, so there was one interview, like article about me in with my first EP, I think early 2014. I think it was Rolling Stone who called me the saddest girl in Sweden.
Oh,
which
I don't think that.
No, but I actually wear it with honor, like
Right.
yes. But I've been asked about this in every single album cycle, every interview for 6 albums. We can let that go now. It's just like, don't ask me about, you've been called the saddest girl in Sweden. I'm not kidding. Every interview cycle, there is at least 5 out of 10 that will ask about that.
Do you know how chuffed I am? I would never have asked you that. I would never have.
I'm like, maybe check the date on when that was said.
Check the date.
And maybe listen to the other 5 albums I've done.
But also, I don't want to ask you anything that someone's asked you already. And some of the things, obviously, you know.
Yes, I mean, some things come up and you talk about stuff that's like, this is related to your artistry. But that was one article 15 years ago, 13 years ago, I can't count, 13 years ago. Maybe ask something else.
Maybe grow up.
That's about me. My other thing
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get it
that
out.
I want to, I kind of want us to get rid of, this is so random. I want us to get rid of all the behind the episode / behind the scenes content on all TV shows, especially the ones that like live in a different universe. Like when I watched Game of Thrones,
Okay.
and then after the episode, you see all the cast members like speaking their natural dialect and like in normal clothes. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't want to see this right now.
Right.
It destroys the mystery.
Okay.
And I kind of feel the same with like, we make this like beautiful, even though I'm going to post so much BTS from my whole album shoot.
Yeah.
I'm still like,
You're allowed to
we're
be
just
a
ruining the magic
contrarian.
all the time. I feel
Yeah.
like, there's no mystery.
Is there nothing sacred? Okay.
Yes.
Tove, I'm going to have to come back to you on that
Yeah.
because you're a millennial, right?
Yes, yes.
And we grew up in a time where DVD extras was one of the most exciting things about a film.
Yes, but it would be like, it wasn't in this like, right after the episode. You know,
You're
I feel
so
like
right.
you know,
you
it
need
was,
a bit of time.
You need some time. And also it's like the same with like documentaries come out about things that happened 2 years ago. No. We need like 10 years.
10 years
10
minimum.
Years. Yeah.
That's when it scares me when something bad happens. They're like, oh, I can't wait to see the documentary on this. And I'm
There's
like, no.
we need time to reflect.
I need to forget about it.
Yes, and also we all as human beings need distance to really understand what happened and to be able to talk about it freely without
True.
too many triggers and too many like time is the only thing that heals. So for us to really take in the full spectrum of a situation, it needs to be 10 years.
Wow. I think you've nailed that.
was
I think
what I
you've-
had to say.
I think you've nailed that, and it's completely never what I thought you were going to say. Tove Lo has got a real bug to bear about
I don't know,
BTS.
So silly, but I've been thinking about it a lot
No,
actually.
I'm so sorry that you've been really ruminating
Really
over
struggling
this.
with this.
She's actually really struggling with this. We've been talking all this like episode about the existential life crisis that she's in, but actually
But I'm
the real
like, BTS.
it's that damn BTS.
Not the band, not the group.
Oh, we love
behind the scenes content.
Yeah, behind the scenes content.
Let's clarify. So they don't come
and if
from
you do want to bring out behind the scenes content, perhaps do it on a DVD so we can just buy it and choose
Yeah.
whether to watch it or not.
get a DVD player,
Yeah.
get HDMI cables, controls. Remember
I've got
those?
them all.
Yeah.
You're preaching to the choir, girl. Tove Lo, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
joining
This
us.
was really fun.
Did you enjoy
Yeah, I
it?
really did.
Well, we can't wait for Estrus to come out.
Thank you
and
so
congratulations on I'm Your Girl, right? And the video.
Yes.
Incredible.
Thank you so much.
So everybody watching, make sure you go and stream the new single and keep your eye out because also you are going to be performing on the 7th of November at the O2 Brixton Academy. Then you're heading to Manchester. So get your tickets, UK people. And
It's going to be amazing. I'm putting together a very special show.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Are you going to
It's
try and
gonna
get
be
your
very
bestie Charlie XCX down? Because you guys, you've got so many famous
I'm like,
English
"Babe."
friends. In fact, you've got so many famous friends in general. Do you even get starstruck anymore?
cool. Yeah, I still do. Well, not by the ones that are my friends.
Yeah,
now I'm like
that would be weird.
I've seen their beautiful faces enough times that I'm like, I know you now. But I mean, I still do. I think more maybe with actors that are like, because then it's like I've seen them as a character, and then
it's going back to this BTS thing. You're like, get away from me, Orlando Bloom. I need to only see you in Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. I'm like, you don't be a real person. No, but I think with artists, because I also work and write with so many artists, I'm kind of like, then I feel like we're kind of kindred spirits. But there's definitely like sometimes you're like, someone's aura can really like catch you off guard. And
is there anyone that comes to head? I know that like
I met Tyla a while back, and I was like,
she's so nice.
She's so nice and warm, and also incredibly beautiful. It was like I was really like, I'm being respectfully hello. She's very just like lovely and gorgeous, and she has a very strong aura. Yeah,
and she's fun.
Yeah,
she's fun, and I don't know how she does that dance.
I mean, that's the thing too. It's like it's like very starstruck by
the stardom of it
the
all.
Stardom, but also just the talent,
But I feel that about you. I don't get starstruck really, because I think there's something slightly wrong with me in that sense.
No, I think that's good.
But I just love chatting to people about things that they're good at.
Yeah,
you could honestly be like an engineer of bricks. I don't really know what engineers do. I'm gonna say that now.
Me neither, but I feel like it's probably not bricks, but maybe could be. You know what? Could be
brick engineers.
Yeah. Get on by the way with it.
Yeah, comment on this podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure, and come back.
I would love to
whenever you want.
Yeah,
and we can get into.
You're going to regret that. Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Actually. Tove Lo, everybody!
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. And please, if you haven't already, go and check us out on Instagram at By The Way Podcast is here, where we'll be posting all the clips. Plus, you can find me at I Am Harriet Rose. Drop us a comment, drop us a like. Let us know who you'd like to see on the pod next.